Hey everybody, this is Brian, and I'm here to do, I guess you could say, a little bit of a quiz, true or false request that my one of my subscribers, his name is SonicFanTable1, has asked me to do. I don't know why, but maybe he's new to the franchise, maybe he just wants to see how much I know. I really can't say. So so I thought, I might as well do it. He's been asking me to do it for a while, and I figured, let's, let I figured, let everybody listen in and see what you guys think and if you agree, and maybe you guys can help him out. So here we go with this quiz and true or false request that Sonic Fan Table has asked me to do. Okay, the first question he asked me is, how did Knuckles lose? No, it's how old is Sonic? That's the first question. He wants to know how old is Sonic. The second one I was about to talk about, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. But he wants to know how old is Sonic. Well, comic-wise, in the comic book, he's about, I guess you could say he's about 16 and a half. Because it's the comic's not based in real time. If it was based in real time, then Sonic would probably be about I don't know, 18 by now. But in the comic book, I guess you can estimate about 16 and a half, almost 17 years old. So about a year and a half away from being a young adult, being able to do what he wants, when he wants. Well, let's put it this way. Him and Sally are the same age. That's just about it. They're both about 16 and a half, going on 17, a year and a half from coming of age in the comic book. In the video game, he's about 16, about the same age, about 16, maybe 17. And really, it's all I can say about that question. He's how old Sonic is. He's 16 and a half, going on 17 in the comics, and about 16, maybe 17 in the games. So, that answers that first question. Alright, the second question Sonic Fan Table 1 has me asking is, how did Knuckles lose his Chaos powers? Well, I can't think of the issue numbers right now, but basically Knuckles at one point, I can't remember what the issue numbers were, but I know it was before 125. Knuckles basically absorbed a lot of Chaos energy to the point that he was a living Chaos Emerald. In other words, his color scheme, if you will, his color scheme, as we know, is red. But when he absorbed, when he absorbed a lot of Chaos energy, he became a living Chaos Emerald. So in other words, his color scheme went from red to green. And basically what happened in the end, not to give much away, so Sonic Fan Table can read up and find out himself, if he doesn't already know about this. Basically, overall, what happened is Knuckles ended up getting himself killed when he was using the full force of the Chaos powers of the Chaos energy that he had absorbed. But apparently, when he became one with the universe, thanks to Aurora, who I guess is the equivalent of God or Jesus in the Mobius world, he came back because he sensed danger, and this was around 125. And it was through one of his ancestors who also had contact with Aurora that Knuckles learned the truth that he could come back. He could come back. And so basically, he came back, he used the powers of the chaos of the universe, I guess you could say, or something like that, came back to try to help Sonic out in battle. But like his ancestor told him, there would be a price, and that price, as soon as he came back to the living, if you will, and tried to help out in battle, was the fact that he would lose his chaos powers. His powers, basically, like his flying and strength and all that. And that's what happened. That was the price he had to pay. So, to answer the second question, that's how Knuckles lost his powers. Alright, the third question he has me, he asked me is, who was Shadow's closest friend? Well, I think apparently we all know that answer if we follow the games and we read the comics and we watch Sonic X. Shadow's closest friend was Maria. She was the granddaughter of Dr. Gerald Robotnik, and if you look at it in many different ways, Doctor, what happened is Dr. Gerald Robotnik was accused of, I guess, trying to play God or something, and the government tried to shut him down. And in doing so, they ended up killing Maria, who was Shadow's best friend, as she was saving Shadow, sending him in this kind of like container, escape pod, if you will. They ended up shooting her. Now, in the Japanese version, she does die. If you look at the Sonic X anime, Maria does die just as she does in the game Sonic Adventure 2 and in the comics. But if you look at it from the American standpoint of the anime, she's just taken away. So, but anyway, that's who Shadow's closest friend was, Maria, Dr. Gerald Robotnik's granddaughter. Alright, the next question he asked me is how many times did Knuckles die? Well, I can't really say. The one I know mostly about is the one I mentioned earlier, about when he used the the power of being a living Chaos Emerald. I guess to say, I don't know what he did. He did something. I got to look back in the issues, but he did something that ended up not only expending all that chaos energy, but ended up killing him in the process. Now, apparently, there is probably a story that goes around in the earlier issues of the Knuckles comics that he, I think, was apparently killed or something like that by Urajak. I'm not really sure, but apparently that's what happened. So, if you want to answer the question, I think maybe twice, perhaps. Maybe the first time he cheated it. I don't really know, but like I said, the one notable time was when he expended all the chaos energy he absorbed, thus killing himself in saving, I think, his friends or something like that. And I think the first time, I guess you could say he was killed off, was when he was vaporized by Urajak. That's what the character Julie Sue said in the the Return of Urajak saga, back in the 180s or something like that, 180 to 184 or something like that. I don't know, but that's apparently how many times he died. Basically, about two.